Daughter Knows Best, the video podcast.
Yay!
Crazy.
Oh, I don't want to stare at myself the whole time.
What?
But it's fine.
Why not? You're beautiful.
It's weird. I'm gonna be like, you know the thing? What's the thing? What's the thing where you like want to look at yourself in the mirror for like forever? You know what I'm talking about?
Being vain people?
No, like there's a phenomenon. Like if there's a mirror, like you will look at it.
I don't know that one. Phenomena. Welcome to Daughter Knows Best. I am Jeff, and you are...
I am Jay.
My daughter. So this is our first ever video kind of podcast. So we've done 12 episodes of an audio podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we decided to branch off because, you know, look at us. Of course we would, right? We're going to do a video. So how was your week?
It was fine. Nothing really to report.
Oh.
Well, honestly, like nothing really to report. Katie, now just like yesterday, her friend arrived. So she's visiting us, and that's been really fun.
Cool.
But there's not like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of something else that happened.
I mean, it's March break this week right now, so a lot of your things you have to do and a lot of your commitments are no more. They're off for the week. Not all of them, a bunch of them, some of them.
Sort of, because I got extra shifts at the restaurant to make up for it.
Right. Which
because
makes
I
sense.
need money.
Don't we all?
Ain't no rest for the wicked. But then, yeah, last rehearsal I had went really well. And everyone was like, you slay. So that's the update there. And
do you know where this is yet? Where the production is?
I know where it is.
So it's called Sex Workers Diaries?
It's called Sex Worker Diaries Spoken and Sung.
And it's playing at the
Ben Wicks Theater.
Ben Wicks in Toronto.
Ben Wicks, yes.
Ben Wicks. Oh, Ben Wicks, like a guy's name.
Yeah.
Not Ben Wicks, like I thought it was.
Yeah, so that's what it is, and I'll be there, and I'm trying to think of anything else to add about it.
It's in April?
Yeah. And the tickets are free.
Oh.
Because it's like a research thing, right? So, yeah, should be cool.
Do I have to buy tickets?
No, because they're free. You have to reserve them, I think, probably. Yeah. I have a QR code if you'd like to.
We definitely should do that because
I think Katie already did.
I don't want to fly to Toronto and not be able to see the show. That would be a pretty expensive trip.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you, but
yeah, it's not the biggest space either. So maybe we should do that.
Cool.
But yes, so I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Last rehearsal just went pretty well. I felt like I have a better idea of everything now. I do have to memorize the monologue exactly. Like I can't like change any words. All the wording has to be the same, and it's 5 minutes long because it's based on actual interviews, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not used to that really.
Yeah, normally you can kind of ad lib a little bit
and I
to
love
make it your own.
That's me. Like that. I love doing that. So anyway, when they said that, I was like, oh shit. So I have to work on that every single day. I've been like I have a recording, so I recite it along with it so that every single word is the same. But that's a little bit stressful to me just because I haven't done that at all since first semester. So
interesting. Okay, well that's cool. That's a neat challenge.
Yeah. No, it's probably good. But yeah, so that's that update. I've been working at the restaurant a lot. I was supposed to work today, and then I got a text literally half hour of my shift. Oh, it's pretty dead in here. You don't need to come in. Isn't that crazy?
That's actually kind of good, though, because you wouldn't want to go there and nobody's there and you don't get any tips because you don't really make a ton of money hourly.
Well, it's better than nothing.
I guess.
Then my tips, I don't account for my tips in my budget because I can't count on them, right? So I still count on my shifts. Tips are extra, which is nice. But yeah, so that kind of sucked. I got literally all completely ready. I was literally about to walk out the door.
Crazy.
But that's okay because I spent the day with Katie and Jenna, who's visiting, and that was fun.
You guys, I know you guys got some crazy weather today, I think, right? Oh, I thought I saw in the news it was like torrential downpours and weather warnings in
Not
Toronto.
here.
Oh.
It was windy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what are we talking about tonight, daughter? That,
You're
that
gonna
is
see all
great.
my...
I'm
I
glad
was
we have a
yawning.
video. Glad we have a video. That was crazy.
I was yawning.
That scared me. I'm a
Ah.
little scared.
Anyway, sorry. We're talking about what did I send you again?
Sexism is dead.
Is that what I sent you?
Mm.
No, wait. What was the exact wording? What I sent you?
That, that, that's what you sent me.
I sent you sexism is dead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's what I said.
Oh, is sexism over? Sorry.
I was like, that's inaccurate.
Is sexism over? Same idea.
No, it's not the same idea. One implies a question and one is a statement. So those are very different. Did you research
I said
sexism is dead?
I said, is sexism dead? Is what I said. The topic is.
Oh, I thought you said sexism is dead. And I was like, okay, sorry.
I might have, but is sexism over? Is what you texted me.
Yes. So
So you
short
get to-
answer, no. But
Oh, come with the tea.
so have you been keeping up? You might know some of this, honestly, because
nice.
it's some stuff you're into. So have you been keeping up like with all the gender related politics in the Olympics happening, or that was happening when the
I don't
Olympics
think
were going on?
so. What kind of gender-related politics?
The hockey stuff?
Oh,
Oh wait, I didn't ask you how your week was. Was it good?
we're already in this now. My
Okay,
week was
we'll talk about it
great. It
later.
was boring.
Yeah, mine too. Okay, go
Um,
on.
So gender in the Olympics, gender as like the hockey, like the women and men's hockey teams, that kind of.
Did you see all
stuff?
that tea?
Not refresh me.
So basically, the very, very basic version is so the women won their gold in the US, not here. And I know,
Yeah, I
so
know.
sad. And then and then the men won a gold, the US team.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Trump was like on the phone with them in the locker room after, was like, hey, he was like, come to the White House. He
go,
was like, come
"Hey."
on over, let's party, essentially. And then he said, I'll have to invite the women's team too. And like joked, oh, I'd get impeached if I didn't invite the women's team. And then the team was like laughing about it. And it was kind of,
Right. And then the women's team declined to go to the
yes,
White House.
they did.
And the men's team went to the White House. And
They
they got
did.
served McDonald's,
Yeah.
which is weird because
Yeah.
they're like athletes.
And it's, yeah, also just like, why would you go to the White House to then just have McDonald's?
Like you can get McDonald's at McDonald's. Like anybody
They can
can
afford
go.
McDonald's, I think. Like,
Well, most of them are
probably.
NHL players, so yes, they can definitely afford. They're
Yeah,
all
I'm gonna grab my
millionaires.
notes.
They're
But that was
literally all
that's the short recap of that. You didn't see any of that? No, you did.
I saw the women decline. I was like, "Good for you." And I
So
saw.
did you see the jokes and stuff? Like, did you see what Trump
No.
said? No?
No. I
Okay.
kind of did. Just kind of didn't notice it. I don't know why.
Because you're a man? Sorry, that was a joke.
Possibly. That's,
1 second. I've been into this because I got this idea because Katie's been very into hockey, as you know.
you're right. Her new thing, women's hockey, which is cool.
Yeah. Okay, wait, where is this? It's this one. So yeah, that's essentially all it really was. Trump, yeah, he made a joke saying I'm gonna get impeached if I don't invite the woman, and then everyone was laughing. And then the NHL commissioner kind of defended them, was like, oh, I don't think they meant it in a bad way, like the team.
Right.
And it was like they were caught up in the high of like winning the game, whatever. And then Hillary Knight, who is the captain of the women's team, did speak out about it and said that basically the joke was in really poor taste and was like pissed off about it, obviously. So that was one of the things that happened.
Right.
And then there were a couple other crazy gender related issues in the Olympics. One of them, so when the women's hockey was going on. Did
Hmm.
Katie kind of mention this? They had the Kachuk brothers, right? Did she say this to you? I thought she did. They had the Kachuk brothers kind of talking at the game,
Yes.
and they just kept relating everything back to men, right? So they kept being,
Right.
oh, this player, her brother is on this other team.
Yeah,
Oh, this
yeah, yeah.
one's a cousin. It's like any way they could like relate
Related
the
to the
female
men's
players
stuff. Yeah.
to a men's team. And that was a big thing that people were talking about as well, especially because of all the hockey shit going on right now with heated rivalry and stuff. You'd think both teams would be getting, like, it doesn't really matter, obviously. They both should be benefiting.
Totally.
And then there was a thing in the, oh, you and mom sometimes watch figure skating, right?
Yeah, your mother likes figure skating quite a bit. Yep.
Yeah, I like it too. So
We watched a lot in the
recently,
Olympics. We watched we watched the men's and the
did
women's
you,
and
okay,
the
did you watch the US guy who calls himself the quad god?
yeah, who's actually from Russia? Yeah, we
That guy.
watched him.
Yes. So
He
he
did
did a backflip, a backflip, right?
yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah,
landed on one skate.
yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, it's like the first person, blah blah blah." But he's actually the first person to legally do it. And people were upset because the first person to actually do it was Surya Benali, I think her name is pronounced that way. She's from France. And that was back in, where was it? 1998. She landed it on one skate, but it wasn't legal. And so she got like 10th place or something because she got docked for it, obviously. And then she ended her career on that.
Yeah, because I thought that when I was younger, my parents, my mom and my sisters used to watch skating, and like Kurt Browning and all these Canadians were really big back then.
Yeah.
And like they could do backflips, they just didn't because it wasn't like you get points off and stuff.
Yeah, because
But
it's
then,
unsafe.
you
Yeah.
go to like ice capades, or you go to like some ice thing, which I went to as a kid, and they would all do backflips. Like every single one of them could do backflips. They just didn't
Right.
do it in the competition, right?
Yeah.
And it's
because we got
interesting. I
docked.
was also reading, or your mother and I were looking this up because a lot of women figure skaters don't do quads. It's not that they can't do quads, it's that the amount of points you get for a quad or a triple is not that different.
Yeah.
So
then
it's like, why would you do a quad?
and
Because
then
it's
potentially
way
not
harder.
land it. Yeah.
And so they're like, they just don't bother because it doesn't make sense, like in
That's
your
so
program.
dumb. It should be art, you know? I
Well, I
understand
think,
it's also a sport, but it
well, I
should
think
there
too,
should be artistry.
more women get hurt doing quads because it takes a lot of, like, not hurt like as in they fall,
But
but
like
hurt
little
like
injuries,
yeah,
yeah.
you could really hurt yourself just practicing and stuff, and just your muscles and stuff. So they discourage it. So that's why they don't do it, because they're just like, we don't want to hurt these poor girls. And a lot of them are really young training. They're like 15 years old, and they don't want to hurt people,
It's
right?
true.
So
Yeah.
that's why they do it. But it is interesting, the differences, right?
Do you know what Nordic combined skiing is?
Nordic combined skiing. Is that the new thing where they climb the mountain?
It's not new, I don't think.
New to the Olympics?
No, it's not new.
Oh.
It's been a feature since the first edition of Winter Olympics, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know what you're saying.
1924. But it's only ever been open to men.
Oh,
And it's basically a combination of cross country and like ski jumping. So I guess
Oh.
they're like chugging along and then they're like whoosh, I guess. I'm not actually sure. I have not seen it. But I did read this. So essentially, so it's only ever open to men. And they say that it's like, oh, well, there's just not enough interest in general. But then there are, I think they said 40. So wait, how many men were in it this year? So yeah, 36 athletes took part in the men's event this year, which isn't that many. But
where they're
but then
winning.
it says here that there are more than 40 women competing at a high level who are waiting for an opportunity to be in the Olympics. So people are saying that it's not actually because of like, oh, we don't want women to do it or something. But it's actually because they don't want the sport in it at all really anymore because it's
Some of
doesn't
them are
garner a lot of
some of them are a little antiquated. Like I didn't even know what that was, so I don't obviously watch that one because it probably isn't in the prime time stuff that, like, usually, Olympics is so short, it's over 2 weeks, and it's like especially this year, it was like on at like 2 in the afternoon, so I'm like working. So like I come home like, oh, I watch the Olympics. It's just they just
Yeah.
put the prime time on, which is like what crazy aerials and like figure skating and hockey. That's pretty much all they would play, right?
Yeah.
Though, so it makes sense to me. It does make
Yeah, it
sense to
makes
me.
sense, but I do think it's crazy that this is the horse they're willing to die on, is like we
Well,
won't
yeah,
let women
why
in.
don't just cut
Like,
the whole thing then if you don't if
I think
nobody.
they're trying to petition. Okay, here's the thing. They've been trying to petition for this since 2022, right? They've been, I mean, probably before that, but that they were trying to last time, essentially get women to be a category. And then they said no, we're not garnering enough interest. I assume they're trying to petition to get it removed,
Mhm.
the actual like board, but they can't do that yet. But they don't want to add women because it's like, you know,
Yeah, because that would be a little
yeah,
weird. Like then
yeah,
it proves
true. But also,
it,
it's crazy that maybe in like I don't know, 1960, no one was like, can women join? Like, it's going on since 1924.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
On a side note, did you see the new sport they had this year? The
No.
mountain climbing sport. It was, you should have watched it. You should look for videos of it. Okay. It's like a whole bunch of teams, and each team has a man and a woman on the team.
Okay.
Okay. And the woman starts, and she cross country skis through this course where she's going like up this hill cross country skiing, and then she goes down this thing and up, and it's like it's like a race. Then
Yeah.
she takes off her skis, puts them on her back. Okay. She has a
Okay.
backpack, and she runs up this like these steps up this mountain.
How do you get
She
into
puts the
that?
skis back on again. She skis down. Then they go back up again. And when they go up, they put these things over their skis that are like little grippies. And they go up, they climb
How
the
do you
mountain up.
even, but like, I understand how one at a young age would be like, oh, I'm going to be a figure skater and start doing that. How on earth is anyone getting into this sport? I was
Then,
actually thinking about Nordic combined too, because I was like, how did you even find out about this?
but
Like,
then once the woman's done her run twice on this crazy circuit, she tags the man and he does it twice. The woman
Okay.
doesn't just chill. She goes on a treadmill, no, on a bike to keep, because she doesn't want the lactic acid build up in her muscles because she's got to go do it again. So then he does it 2 loops, comes back. She's been on this bike. She gets off. She tags him. She does the loop twice, and then he does it twice. And he's on a little bike waiting when she's not there. I was like, my mind was blown.
why
with
would
this.
anyone decide? Who thought of that? Who was like, this is the next new sport? Did they just make up the sport, or is it just new to the Olympics? It
It's new
sounds
to the
fake.
Olympics. It's new to the Olympics.
What is it called?
I call it like, I thought it was called like mountain climb or something. I could probably find it if you really
That
want to
doesn't
know.
feel like a real sport.
Mountaineering. That's what it's called. Mountaineering.
Okay.
And they put like when they have those little grippies on their skis, once they get to go the part where they have to go down, they take them off and they got like little pouches like a kangaroo pouch, and they shove them in their
Yeah.
kangaroo pouch, and they got backpacks on. The backpacks are just for their skis when they're running, and I'm like this is like it's crazy. It's crazy. And it your mother and I were fascinated by this. We watched
Yeah.
like the whole race, and we were like it was insane. Like I
That
was
is
like, these
wild.
people are like, it's like CrossFit to the nth degree. It's like CrossFit hell almost. You know what I mean? Like I did not enjoy. That's something right there for our short video.
My yawn?
Yeah,
I'm allowed to yawn on camera. Why are you mentioning
Because it was
it each
cra- it was like-
time?
it was awesome. I loved it. Anyway, so both men. That sport's great as for our discussion because each team is a man and a woman.
That's kind of cool,
Partners.
actually. You don't usually see that, except for
Partners.
figure skating, I guess.
Yeah, and they both have to. So if one of them is really weak, then the other teams could catch up or win or whatever, right? But
And that's just interesting because obviously with hockey, men and women, there is, I guess, some sort of divide. I don't know, but it seems like there would be. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because they're not.
I have a weird memory of way back, like 20, 30 years ago. There was a woman who very briefly played in the NHL as a goalie, but it was like before there was women's hockey leagues, right? And
Yeah,
it was pretty brief. I don't know much about it. Maybe like a couple games or something.
it's fucked up.
Um,
I used to hate as a kid when they'd be like, "Oh, Canada's had a female prime minister, but it was like she wasn't elected." Like
No,
No,
she was a
I
deputy prime
know.
minister, and
I
she
just
became
think
prime
that's really
minister when
fucked up.
John Turner.
And people love to say that. They love to be like, see,
He
like
wasn't voted. She
it's
wasn't
not
voted
the
in.
same.
She wasn't
Yeah,
voted in.
it's not the same. What was I gonna say? Sorry. So I guess all this made me think of the topic, which is not even just is sexism over. I guess I'm more about is sexism over yet? Like it just feels like we've been doing this a long time. Katie's been really getting into hockey, and I've been kind of like, okay, like what's going on? And I didn't realize how much homophobia is like a huge problem. And maybe I'm late to this game, but like in professional sports teams, especially on men's teams, it's huge, right? Like it's a giant issue. Whereas on the women's teams, that's not obviously usually the case. And I mean, not always, but it's just interesting culturally how that even works, especially because I was hearing this and I'm not really a sports person. So this was all news to me. And I was kind of like, how is this still happening? How is this still going on? Like, how is it so ingrained in sports culture that it's still an issue, you know?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I know when Heat Rivalry kind of came up, and your mother was like, "Oh, well, I'm sure there's lots of gay hockey players." And I go,
No,
"Not
not
openly."
openly.
And
They
she looked it up.
can't.
She looked it up, and there was like two,
Yeah,
I think,
and
or
they
something.
get bullied. Like, there's all these stories of
Yeah,
like
but out of
horrible
like
things.
hundreds, there's two.
No,
You know what I
it's
mean? Like,
wild.
and I was like, I don't think there's a lot of open gay people.
But that's in like why? Like I guess it's not. I understand why homophobia
Jock
exists,
culture.
but why hockey? Like why is that? What about other sports? I don't know. Like
I can't. I mean, we'd have to do research, and maybe I could have if I knew it was more about gay players. But
no, it's not. It's not. That was just another thought I had.
but like baseball, basketball,
Yeah.
football. I don't know of any. I'm sure there are some, but I don't can't think of any famous openly gay of
So
any
that
pro
was news
sports.
to me. And then like I was, the the women's teams being so gay, like
I
mostly
mean,
lesbians,
that's kind of
probably.
the joke, right? Like the
The
women's
joke.
hockey players are mostly gay, right? That's kind
I
of
think
one of
they are
those.
mostly gay. Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Katie from editing. I just had to come in and clear up that that's actually not true. There are 207 players that are currently on a PW roster, and out of them, 37 are publicly out as queer. So that comes out to like 18%. It's pretty significant for any sort of athletic league, more than we can say for the NHL, but it's definitely not most, and it's not really close even. So I just had to make sure we were all on track with that. I can see why Jay thinks this because she gets all of her PW information through me, and I am gay. My PW consumption is very gay, but the league itself, I would say, is quite balanced. Lots of straight girls tearing it up on the ice out there. So just had to clear that up.
But I think so. I guess it's not a joke, but it was a stereotype that's real, I guess.
It's a joke.
Which was like, oh, she must be a female hockey player. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh. Okay. But that also makes me think how many male hockey players are actually gay? Do you really think?
well, I mean, statistically, there's a
So,
lot more because it's like
yeah.
1 in 10 or something, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever the numbers are. So it's
Yeah.
like way more. Back to sexism, though.
Sorry.
I
Anyway.
think sexism when I
Separate
was
thought.
younger was way more overt, right? It was just in
Yeah.
your face, and we kind of just it was normal but not cool. Now I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of obvious.
It's under the radar.
Yeah, it's under the radar.
Well, it's like how, like when bullying happened when you were a kid, it was like, I'm going to beat you up behind the school. And when I was a kid, it was like, it was silent, It was exclusion.
Oh, it was bullying was like they would, they put just like in the movies, they push you down in the schoolyard and they're like, you suck. And you're like, oh,
Yeah. There's not a lot. Now it's very much like, or at least when I was a kid, like very much like, I don't know, spooky, like underhanded comments and stuff. And maybe because I'm a girl, but
and
I
like
didn't
rumors
see any.
and
There
like
were,
rumors online and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there weren't like men. There was like 2 fights at our school ever. So I don't think that was really happening. Like,
We had fights, well, not weekly, but probably bi-weekly. We had a fight at our school. It was not
that's
that hard.
hilarious.
Come on. So I mean, I don't think sexism is actually. I don't think it's gone. I think it's just.
Well, I don't think
changed.
it's gone. I guess I was just like, I was really flabbergasted by, now that I've been thinking more about sports, how much that has not changed as opposed to the rest of the world. And then I was like, okay, so we're never getting out of this, are we?
So are people better at hiding it from the rest of the world, and then in sports they don't bother, like the
I
jocks don't
don't
bother?
know. That's what was so confusing to me because I was like, do they just know no one expects it of them? So they're like, guess it's fine. Like, what? You know what I mean? And it's interesting because you don't see that about whatever the fuck that sport is, mountaineering or figure skating, the men in those sports, because they need women. They're in their category, so they can't do anything about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like there is like tennis is a great example. It's not a winter sport, but there's mixed doubles is one of the categories, right?
Right.
So it's a man and a woman on a team against another guy and a girl.
Right.
Mixed doubles. There was famously back in the 70s, I mean it was 80s, there was the Battle of the Sexes, and it was two tennis players, John McEnroe and Billie Jean King. They played each other to see who was the best like tennis player. And the women won, actually. Billie Jean King won, which is hilarious, but it didn't really change anything, right?
Well,
but
sure.
it was televised. It was like the Battle of the Sexes. It was like a big deal back in
that sounds
the old
awesome.
days. Yeah.
Well,
We need more of that. Because tennis, I mean, you could be it's
that's
not
true. It
just
doesn't really matter. It's not about strength.
Yeah, it's not purely about strength, right? I mean, even if you hit the ball harder, it doesn't really matter if you can return it the right place, right? So it doesn't.
Yeah, it's very strategic too, like where you're hitting it and stuff in the court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I don't, and how you return, and there's a million things. I mean, it's not all about power, but totally bringing this out of sports and into like business.
Please, the sports was what my topic, my little scandal.
I feel like there's definitely way more women in leadership than
This is
when
fun
I
on
was.
video. Sorry.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I don't know where my camera is. There it is. But back to the workplace. There's definitely way more women in leadership now than when I was first, in business. And now it's almost a joke. I was on a call recently, and I won't say who it was, but it was like some people I work with and some people from one of our suppliers. And we got on the call, and there was like 6 of us. It was all old white guys, 6 of us on this call. And my boss, who's a great guy, he goes, "This isn't a very diverse call, is it, boys?" It was like, ugh. Like we actually recognize it. Like this isn't cool, right? Like, but I feel like that would never. No, even know. I don't think people would even notice.
Yeah, it was so normal.
Yeah.
Well, we were watching the Oscars last night, actually.
Oh yes.
And I forget what her position was exactly. Well, that's going to bother me. The president of the Academy or so. I don't even know. Who was this? Wait, I'm going to look at blonde lady speech.
Fran Drescher is the president of the union.
Is she English?
No, it's Fran Drescher. She's from the Nanny show.
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of. Right. No, I know who I thought they were like a same name situation because I was like, what?
She's the president of the Actors Union.
Oh my God, that's going to bother me.
Which is
Lynette
pretty cool.
Howell Taylor.
She is Lynette. Nice.
Wait, I'm gonna look her up. She's
British.
from Liverpool. What?
Oh, like the Beatles.
I guess.
That's
we actually could not figure out her accent. We were watching it and we thought she was from one of those parts of Australia where, like, they have barely any accent.
Liverpool is an interesting. It's different
I didn't
accent.
know that.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's definitely different.
She, yes, served as the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
Nice. Good
So that's what she's doing. So anyway, she came out. She's like not that old, and she's like a blonde girl with like a dress on. She's 46, and she like I don't know. They were like, oh, now for the speech from the president of whatever.
You think it's gonna be an old white guy?
Yeah, we're gonna be an old white guy. We were like, oh, okay, Lynette. Like,
well, that's
literally.
killing it.
I know. And then I forget who won. Oh, it was the guy who. Yeah, am I right? Yeah, the guy who directed the movie with, I haven't seen it, but the new movie with Leo DiCaprio in it, I don't even know who the director is. I didn't know who he was, but I forgot his name. Sorry, sir. But he won Best Director. And we were like, oh, we wanted to be this person or this person we were watching. And then he got called and we were like, oh, it's this old white man. Like, of course, like it was fine. I'm sure it's a good movie. I haven't seen it, but I just thought it was funny.
Well,
what?
Your mother and I tried to watch it. We watched like the first maybe half an hour.
It looks odd.
We're like, I don't think this is for us, and we turned it off.
What did you not like?
I don't know. It wasn't. It was weird, and
It
no, I
looked
didn't see the whole
strange.
thing, and I didn't like it.
I like strange sometimes, but
No.
the fact you guys turned it off makes me be like,
But I
was
mean,
it good?
maybe we should have given it a better shot. I don't know. It was before, like this is quite a while ago when it was like, oh, I heard this is good, and we turned it on and we started. It
Did
was like
mom
free
like
on
it?
something.
Or did
No,
you
no,
like? Okay, neither of you liked
neither of
it.
us
Because
liked
if
it.
mom liked it and you didn't like it, I'd be like, okay, because you don't like complex emotions. They make you uncomfortable in movies. So
This was just weird. Like, I
it
mean,
looked
we
odd.
didn't give it a full shot, to be clear.
I might watch it
It was
because
no
you know what I
sinners.
should do? Sometimes what?
It was
Oh,
no sinners.
Sinners. I know. Do you see Sinners won some shit?
Not
That's
as
really
much
good.
as they should
No,
have.
not as much as they should have. Instead, the old white man won. No, but it was yeah, we were excited though. We were like, woo! One best score though. Holy fuck, it deserved best score. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Because me and Katie saw Hamnet and
Did you enjoy it?
we really liked Hamnet. I thought it was really good. But yeah, mom would love Hamnet actually.
Yeah,
I think she would love the book because I didn't realize it was based on a book, but when I was reading about the book, I was like, Mom should read this. And the movie. But so when the best score category came up, there was Hamnet and Sinners were both there, and me and Katie both saw both. But we were like, Katie was like Hamnet or Sinners, and I was like, listen, loved Hamnet, but Sinners, like the way that's never been done before. What they did with the score, you know what I mean? Like that was so interesting and unique and incredible. Like I think that's the kind of thing that deserves to win, just because literally no one's done that before. You know?
No,
It was
I agree.
beautiful,
I
Hamnet, beautiful
agree.
music, but not the same.
I agree. It's too bad because any other year, Hamnet
Yeah,
probably
any
gets
other
more.
year, but it's like it was too incredible. Gosh, it's awesome.
Did you see Frankenstein won a bunch of like, I think it was for like set design and for like makeup and for a
Yeah,
whole bunch of stuff.
yeah.
I think it's set design. The two people were actually from Nova Scotia.
Wow.
It was on CBC this
Was
morning.
there shit going down in Canada for that movie? Because one of my kids
Yeah, they thanked Montreal in their acceptance
because
speech.
I was gonna say my kid totally could be lying, but she said she knew a guy who was in that movie, and I was like, one of the kids I teach, but
Yeah,
she's 8,
they
so
literally thanked the city of Montreal, and these people were from Halifax that worked on it, and they were in the press
yeah.
thing after when they won. They thanked Ang Lee, and they were like, "It's
I liked
amazing."
Frankenstein, but it didn't deserve to win anything compared to the other
Well,
movies.
like set design though. I mean,
Oh no,
like,
maybe I just meant like the big categories.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, from what I saw, it seemed like pretty awesome. Like the way
It was
they
good.
did, just even the vibes.
Sorry, yes, the design was beautiful. Yes, the costume design, the set design was gorgeous. The score was gorgeous too, actually. But you know,
Um, back
sorry,
to
we
our
should talk about
topic.
sexism. So this woman Lynette came out. And we were like, "Yay!"
Yeah,
That was my
that's
whole
amazing.
point.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I think things have changed a little bit, like just business wise. Like I know that when
Yeah.
I go to like big leadership meetings and it's got everybody there, it's, I don't know if it's half, but it's pretty darn close. Half women, half men. And
Where was it?
there's
Sorry,
lots of
go on.
ethnicities. Like it's not just all white guys or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I've been to meetings where it's all white guys before, like big meetings. And that's not the vibe really.
So
But
recent.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
go on.
So
No, it's okay. Finish your thing.
what bugs me is that I've worked places where, you know, it's more performative, where they're just like, well, we should just really hire somebody that fits these ethnic boxes just to do it. Whereas I think that misses the point. You should hire those
Yeah.
people, and you should but you should think about like diversity in the fact that am I not hiring this person because I have a
I know.
bias?
It's
You know
tough
what I
in
mean?
that. It's so interesting because it's really tough in that scenario. Like in theater, and there are issues with that too. Actually, I might get into that in a minute here, but I didn't think of that. So, but I guess my minor point on your thing is that in theater, like, you know, you can just make a story where you want a character, you know, it makes sense for a character to be a certain ethnicity, and then you cast for that because it
Sure.
makes sense for the story. So then you don't have to be like, well, are they, da, 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 you know what I mean? Like, that's what you're looking for. But obviously it'd be crazy if you were like, so for this sales rep position, we need a black man. Like, you can't do that.
But they do that. So
That's really
the
crazy.
government here literally does that. They say we're hiring for the position, and it's reserved for people that are
That's okay.
not
Well, I
white
don't
people.
think that's bad.
I think it should be the best person, bar none. And if you've got problems with your people being biased, then just
Okay, but
give everybody a
you
number.
know why they
Do
do that,
blind
though, right, Dad?
interviews. Like there's ways to do it though,
But
so you don't.
but
I
it's
know.
not about just bias. It's about privilege from a young age, right?
Okay, but as a business, I
But
want
that's
I want to make money, so I want the
but
best people that make me
it's not
money.
always about that, now, is it? That's why the government does that. Because they don't give a
Right?
fuck if you make money. They're
No,
supposed to benefit all.
government, yeah.
Yeah.
But you think you'd want the best people for the role, regardless of what their
But if
background.
you never do this, then it'll never change, right? Then you'll always have
But
only
that's
white
not
guys.
sexism, so we should talk about sexism
Anyway.
anyway.
So what was I gonna say? Oh, so Iceland recently made it illegal to pay men more than women. Like right now. They just did that.
So I know in my company and the last company I worked for, men and women got exactly the same salaries when they started.
I'm sure
there's
lots of places do
there's just
now.
the salary for that role is just this is the salary for the role.
Yeah.
There's no, we don't care.
It's still
This is the
happening in
salary.
movies and stuff. Oh my gosh, you see it all the time.
There's still a pay gap in general,
Yeah.
for sure.
I just know about it because I'm obviously in like media, so I see that stuff. But
But I mean, even just in businesses, there are still businesses
I'm
that
sure.
have pay gaps for where men make more, which isn't cool. And I don't even, maybe the starting is the same, but maybe the men get bigger raises or
probably.
I did
Oh,
read
actually, that is a thing. Yeah, there's some statistics on that, aren't there?
well, I did read somewhere that men in general apply for roles
That they're less qualified
less
for.
qualified for.
Yeah, they do.
So they're not really qualified, but they're like, I'm going to take a shot. Where women are more apt to just be like, oh,
Well, I
I
was
don't know if
told
I could do
not
it.
to. Like, yeah.
I don't have all these things, so I'm not going to apply. Where men are like, I got a couple of these. Damn it, I'm
It's
going to throw
so
it in there.
annoying.
Well, women can do the
But
same
that's
thing.
another good example, though, of like privilege from birth, really, because that's because of how they're raised, right?
You're right. No, you're right. It's like women are told like no.
Don't like think too much of yourself, sweetheart. Like, yeah,
You're not this special.
yeah. Oh, you think you're special now because you got the lipstick? Anyway, yeah. No, it's like such a thing. And oh my gosh, what was I gonna say? But yeah, so men do that, and men, I am 99% sure men actually are offered raises at a faster rate. Wait.
That's probably true. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Yet again, there's some unconscious bias going on where people don't even need to do it, right?
Yeah,
They're like,
of course.
oh, he's a way harder worker.
Well, and women have that too, right? They have internalized misogyny, like I do. We all do.
Or women go on maternity leave, which obviously,
but
some
there have to be
employers.
systems in place.
No, but some
to protect them
employers
from
are
that.
just like, well, Janie didn't work very hard because she's been off for a year on maternity leave, so we got to give the raise to Bobby
That
over
is
there.
so
You know what I
fucking
mean?
ridiculous.
But where it's like, just like, well, that's a different thing. I think it's nice when, I mean, it's a pain in my butt when employees go on maternity leave because I have to cover it. But I'm
that's
happy,
life,
really
yeah.
happy for them. I'm
Well,
super amazed.
and obviously sometimes men go on maternity leave, which is not as
Paternity.
common. Sorry, not maternity leave.
Yeah,
but
paternity leave.
but yeah, like they do that sometimes. And I
Yeah, I've had people do that, and
Yeah.
I've worked with people like that. And you know what? That's great too, because they should. Because you know what? You're only gonna spend such a small amount of time with your young newborn kid, and
yeah.
you're not. I don't think nobody's gonna regret. Like, oh man, I wish I spent less time with my kid. Like,
Okay, analysis reveals that 10.26% of men in entry-level roles are promoted after 1 year, compared to 10.02% of women. Further up the ladder, for every 100 men promoted to manager, only 87 women are. Men are more likely to expect larger raises, which is over 6%, and bonuses than women. Men are more likely to seek promotions, but women are often more concerned with being paid more in their current role.
do you
which is
think men
interesting.
also probably maybe ask for a raise more readily?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Which is again the privilege from birth. Women are more frequently offered dry promotions, which entail higher responsibilities without salary increases.
Oof. That's
And managers often rate male subordinates as having higher potential. due to subconscious biases associating leadership with male traits, you know?
That's interesting. Yeah. And it's one thing I've learned too, that it's not businesses are really a bit stupid this way. If somebody's a top performer, like sales performer, they're like, oh, well, we should make a manager. That doesn't mean they can
Yeah.
manage people.
Yeah,
That's
and then
means
you
a
lost the salesman.
So you
Like,
lost your best salesperson, and they have no idea how to manage
well,
anybody.
it's
And
like,
then you're screwed.
remember, I shouldn't say. Katie, bleep this name. He was a horrible teacher, and he got a lot of complaints lodged against him, like tons. And they were bad. Like, they were like, there's no getting out of that one.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, because I think a lot of people wouldn't let them go because they shouldn't. I think it was just getting worse. Like, I think they've heard more and more against him. I think that's part of the reason they promoted him, to get him out of there.
Failing up.
Crazy.
Failing up. I've worked places where people that are useless keep getting promoted. It's because they don't want to deal with them in that role. They're
Oh my
like,
God,
we'll
it's
send them up there, and
ridiculous.
somebody else can deal with them. And I'm just like, yeah, but then they end up being like vice president of something. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Also, last stat, managers are more likely to believe men are like gonna leave the job, so they give them higher pay raises as a retention tool.
They don't think women are going to leave jobs.
I guess not. Probably because men have more like confidence, right? So they're probably going to be like, "Oh, I can get this other job that's going to pay me more."
That's true. I can go apply for a different job, and they'll give me lots of money, and it'd be great.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think it kind of goes back then to, weirdly, like the way women are raised, I guess. But then I feel like, is that still happening? That's what I want to know. Are modern women, as in your generation, are they like still scared to ask for a raise?
I think it gets slightly less and less each time. And I've talked about this before. The girls I know are timid, right? Like, not timid, but in their jobs, they're more likely to be like, okay, sorry. If I didn't do anything wrong, he will not see me apologizing. Like, but I think most girls, yes. I mean, I wrote a song about this, but my profs, because of the way I look, because I'm blonde, and because I'm small, and because I dress in like lace and pink, and I like doing that, I used to get so underestimated by profs. And you remember, I would get like certain situations, I would get pushed around so much, and they didn't expect me to do anything about it because I'm assuming girls like me don't. Right. And I would always clap back at them, and they would be like shocked, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
But I know friends of yours, I'm not going to mention any names, that if they were in a work situation, they would definitely not ask for a raise, or they would, and if their male counterpart got a raise, they would just be like, oh, good for them. I guess they deserve, like, they wouldn't even question it because they just like, oh, I don't want to question authority.
And people don't want to deal with the headache of that, which I understand because women are often like, told they're like bitchy or something for doing the same things that men do. Right. So, like, I even noticed it with like, this isn't anything against Katie, who's going to edit this, but like sometimes with like things, like Katie's immediate reaction sometimes when I do something a little feisty, even if I'm right, like is like, why would you do that? Because she doesn't want the trouble. Like, she's a peacekeeper. Like, she doesn't want to do that. But then I'm like, but I was right. Like when we were dealing with the woman who was being crazy about our apartment, I remember, I don't know if I told you, but I basically said something. She was being super mean, and as she walked away, I kind of yelled something snarky at her before I closed the door. And Katie was like, "Oh my, why would you do that?" And I was like, who cares? Like, if you come at me, like, what? I'm just supposed to stand here and take it? Like, no.
Which is funny because I'm more like Katie, where I don't want a confrontation. Like,
oh my God, I love.
Like, if I have to, I will, but I don't really want one. You know what I mean? So if I can,
she was already confronting me. Like,
I can diffuse it. I'll diffuse it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, she was already going crazy. I just was so mad. I don't know. I mean, it didn't do any. I knew what was she gonna do? I wouldn't do it in, and I didn't do it like in situations where like it was important not to. But like things like that, or like, wait, what's another example I had in my head? So my current job at the restaurant,
Or remain nameless.
I mean, this is actually fine to talk about, but so when I got the job, they said, this is what we pay an hour, essentially, generally, this is what we start at. But they said, we're open to negotiation in the email. I've never been told that in my life. Like, they probably just said it because that's probably just the form email they send. I've just never heard that. So I went, all right. I emailed back. And I was like, okay, can I have this much? Not because I even needed more. I just never been told that. So I was like, all right, sure. Why not? Right?
Well,
so
if they lose, they can say no, and you'd be like, all right.
And I go, okay, cool. Like, it's fine. So then I went slightly higher than I wanted because, you know, you're supposed to do that. And then they were like, they gave me what I actually wanted. And they were like, why don't we do this? Start there. I said, great. But then I was kind of embarrassed. And then later, like months later, like recently, this guy I work with was talking about how much he got paid. I forget. I wasn't actually in the conversation, but I like overheard that he was like, oh, I got paid like minimum, like when I first started. And I was like they just changed it. You got paid minimum for like a long time. And I was like, eek, that's crazy. You didn't negotiate, I guess. Like, and then I actually did get a very minor raise recently because I did my 3-month performance thing or whatever. It was actually 6 months. They were really late on it, but it's okay.
Yeah, and I mean and good for you, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I guess this is it. This is the offer, right? And I mean, on the flip side, I've had employees we've hired that try to negotiate. And I'm just like,
Basic
unfortunately,
things,
this is it. Like, we have, if you don't want to, that's okay.
Also, at least in my situation, that would have been fine.
Yeah,
I've never done that before. I've never, you know, they just.
And some of the people that have, in my vast career, some of the people that have really, really negotiated hard are not great. When you get them, you're like, they thought they were so amazing, and they're here, and why did we pay them more money? Yeah.
It's weird because everyone kind of should be negotiating.
I mean, I'm at the level, if when I get a job, I definitely negotiate, but that's different. I'm at they expect people to negotiate. Though this last job, it was through a recruiter. And the recruiter is like, look, I don't want to go back and forth negotiating. Just tell me what you really, really want, and I'll just do that. I'm like, oh, okay. And I told them what I wanted, and they just made a contract and gave me what I wanted. Well, I went higher than, I didn't go crazy high, no, because I knew what the range was, right? I know what,
But you never know.
Hey, it's all good. I'm not.
I don't know. I think, I thought that was funny. I still feel a little bad about it. I'm sure it's fine, but I feel weird about it because I was just like, well, they said that. Why would they even say that? It planted the idea in my head. I've never done that.
That's hilarious.
I know.
That was kind of silly. They shouldn't have done that at all, and you would have just accepted whatever it was that they offered.
Well, because I mean, in a lot of the time, I very much knew that they weren't going to pay me more. Like certain jobs, it just the way they, maybe when it was brought up in the interview or something, like it just kind of knew that.
So in a way, it's smart for the restaurant, because if you were kind of wavering between a few positions and it's hard to hire people, they might be, and you go, well, actually, if you give me this, I'll go. And they're like, great. Then they get somebody, and instead of you going, well, it's too low and this other one's higher, you know what I mean? So it's kind of smart. So
yeah, no, that's true. And then actually the reason I went with that, because I had 2 offers at the time. The other job wasn't because of that, but the other job, the way he talked about it, I think I told you this. Oh, yes. He actually went out of business. But anyway, before that, they kind of didn't work there.
He wanted you to
he was like, where do you see yourself building the business? And I was like, you're hiring me to serve things. And I just told, and it annoys me because I started every interview with, I'm an actor. I value flexibility. Clearly I'm here because I need money.
I'm not going to be a lifelong server.
No, it's so annoying. But anyway, so that's why I went with the other job, because I was like, I don't want any part. I don't want to deal with it. It's so annoying, when people expect you to make their job your whole life.
Yeah, I remember one time I was working somewhere, and we were in this meeting, and my boss at the time said, I can't believe people here think this is just a job. And I thought, well, it is just a job.
What else is it? If
you stop paying me, I'm not coming anymore.
I know.
This is what it is. And so do you think this is more than a job? This is just a job. It's not my life at the time. You know what I mean? It's not like we were it was a charity where we're saving little children who are from the gutters. This is just a business selling stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yes, this is just a job. And if you don't pay me, I don't come. This is why I'm here. I'm here because you give me a paycheck and I can eat. Like this is literally my motivation at this point.
I think from negotiating, like you can kind of tell when they're okay with it and when they're not. I think, like, so in AMDA, like we had to do this dumb seminar where they were like, "Oh, like, here are the things you can negotiate," and it wasn't super helpful, honestly. And then, of course, like everything at AMDA, someone would like raise their hand and be like, "Oh, but what about international things?" And they go, "I don't know.
We don't know.
No idea."
Is there anything outside of the United States? I think it's just there's nothing out there, right? It's just here, right?
It's really stupid. So anyway,
but it's funny, real quick, back to sexism, because I
this
think
is about sexism. But go on.
yeah, I was just say in general, I don't think men or women, from my experience, negotiate more or less. I think it's pretty even.
Yeah.
I think I've had some women negotiate, some men negotiate, but I don't think it's ever been like, I wouldn't say, oh, women don't and men do. Like, and when you're
Who do you
hiring.
think have been like your best employees?
I think it's pretty even. I mean, right now I have mostly women employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And it's funny because I have a male sales rep, and we have like 4 female sales reps. So we just hired another female. And when I said we were hiring another person, he goes, "Oh, can we get another boy?" I was like, "No, it's actually not a boy we're hiring." He's like, "Oh," I'm just all by myself.
That's actually hilarious.
So we
sure
definitely
it's
have
fine.
more females, which is awesome. I mean, I
Yeah.
like.
Well, who cares?
I don't. The best people for the job. That's what I want. The best people
True.
for the job. And if they're purple polka dot transgender people, I'm in. Like, if you're gonna do the best job, I will hire you. You know what I mean? I think it's silly that people. I mean, I just wasn't raised that way, I guess. But some people would be, oh, I only want like white men. I'm like, ooh. I also think it's interesting to get different backgrounds because you're going to get different perspectives, which is going to give you different ideas, right? Because I don't want everybody to think like me, because then that's not useful. I need other people to think differently.
And it's kind of random. I don't know that my first thought when hiring would be like, oh, a white man will be a harder worker.
No, definitely not.
Probs not. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's that's stupid. Like I've had white men that work super hard, and I've had white men that are useless, and I have to fire them. I've had both, and I've had both sides of it. I think it's just people. People are all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. About sexism. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, about sexism.
About sexism, but not about that. So in movies and stuff, you know how like often it'll be a movie and they'll cast like a 60-year-old kind of former like male star and then like a 30-year-old rising star woman. Like always,
it bothers me.
It bothers me too. I hate it. Why are we doing that?
There's something we were watching recently, and the love interest of this male was not 12. They were like actually like
maybe his age.
Well, maybe not his age, but like 5 years less, or like close, like a normal human would be. And I was like, finally. Like, why do we have to have 25-year-olds and 6-year-old men? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. So we went and saw, and I don't know, shade. I liked it, but we saw The Bride the other night, and yeah, it was fun.
Bad.
It looked bad to me too. We went to Cineplex VIP. We got wine served to our seat. It was hilarious.
That made it way better.
Oh yeah. No, but it was a really fun movie. But I was drunk, honestly. We got the 9-ounce glasses. Anyway, I was drunk, but it was like, I don't know that it was awesome, but it was really fun. And I will say both of their performances were really good.
Nice.
Like the acting was really good. So it was Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley, right? So Jessie Buckley, like, she's just getting famous right now. Is she? I don't know how young. She's not like 20, but let's see.
I have no idea how old she is.
Let's see.
But she's definitely too young for him, isn't she?
She's 36.
Yeah.
And my guy is, I just typed in Christian Bale. That's not the same.
Christian Bale.
He's 52.
That's not great.
Why?
It's not
Why?
great.
Like, why? And then, Sinners, when that came out, remember, I don't know if you knew this at the time, there's a lot of discourse. I don't remember her name, but in the movie, the character who's with Stack, I need to watch it again. I don't remember the characters' names, but the characters with Stack who like, you know, they lost their baby and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. Everyone thought, so you know, he goes to the gravestone first and he's like, sees that and he goes like, oh, daddy's here. And then he goes inside. So everyone thought, a bunch of people on TikTok were like, I thought she was his mom.
Oh.
And they were like, I thought he was going to his dad's gravestone. And I was like, what? So you thought he went up to his dad's gravestone? He said, daddy's here?
Like
as a grown man?
Daddy's here in the ground. Daddy's here down there in the ground.
Like, what the hell? And then, yeah, so a bunch of people thought that that was his mom. And then they started fucking. And they were like, whoa, what's happening? But then...
a different direction.
Yeah. But, like, people were pissed off because no one thought that about, what's her name? Haley. I don't know her last name. Haley. She has the same birthday as me. I don't know her name. So that chick, no one thought that about her. She is significantly younger than him, but everyone thought it about this other woman who was his age. They were the same age.
But we're not used to that in movies.
Yeah.
It's just perception, right?
It is. But that was crazy. And then I had another thought about that. I do hate to see that. Like, I always hate to see it. And it's you know, it's because they recycle older actresses just faster. They just age them out faster.
Well, or now you've got like Nicole Kidman, who's got so much work done that she can't emote in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but she still wouldn't get cast. She can only do weird shit now. You know what I mean? She wouldn't get cast in like a romantic movie with an older man. Maybe a little, maybe once or twice. Not a blockbuster.
She's on a new TV show right now.
Yeah, I saw. I didn't see it, but I saw that was happening. I just mean like she did like Baby Girl. Like, what's that? You know what I mean? That was wild.
Yeah, I just, you're right though, that it's the new hot young thing with the Brad Pitt who's literally 60 years old.
Oh my God, I would never want to see Brad Pitt again. Like, I actually hate when
Did you watch
he's in a
F1
movie.
yet?
I haven't seen it yet. I want to because I know. I do want to see that.
It's a good movie.
I know because I loved, what's the other movie?
Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I loved that. So I think I love this, but I really want them to stop putting Brad Pitt in any movie ever again. Like, I actually never want to see his face.
But
I don't like him.
You gotta give Brad credit. He's 60 years old, and his abs and like his body is like, holy shit.
Who cares?
He must work out like 10 times a day.
Oh wow! I wish he was going to acting classes. Like, maybe because he's an actor, not a bodybuilder. Wonder where he should be. Like, that pisses me off.
So you don't think he's a good actor? I think he's pretty good.
I don't think he's great. And you know, I also don't. But I don't think he's great. Every time he's in a movie, he diminishes it slightly for me.
Did you watch
frankly.
Legends of the Fall?
Nah. What is that?
It's an early movie of Brad's. He's amazing acting in that. Seriously. Legends of the Fall.
I've seen him do things young.
It's a commitment. 3 hours, but it's a good movie.
I think he was slightly better when he was young, but now he's phoning it in.
Well,
like,
he's a caricature a little bit, but F1 he does a great job, honestly. Sorry.
I don't know the plot, but is the plot that he's old? Because F1 drivers aren't old, right? Okay.
No, the plot is he's a washed up guy who...
Because the trailer did not make that clear. So I was kind of like, what are we doing?
He's a washed up F1 driver who like got in this crazy accident when he was young and never raced F1 again. He raced all kinds of other things. And then his friend drags him back into F1 and he's there to train the young rookie guy. That's what he's there for, but he's the other driver. And he's really old. And they make fun of how old he is all the time.
All right. Okay. That's allowed. But it's like, because
Top Gun Maverick, I had a problem with that. Because they de-aged Tommy so badly.
Oh, yeah, that was really weird.
And it was during COVID, remember? And he came out before, and he's like, hey, thanks for going to the movie.
Hey, guys, thanks for coming out to the theater.
His age, which is great. Which is great. The movie comes on, and he looks like literally 40 years old.
It was very odd.
Then...
And that's weird, too, because that's a sequel. We know how much time has passed.
And
it's about that.
All the jokes were like, okay, old man, he looks 42.
He's not older than you. Like, what do you mean?
Well, he's older than that, but not like that much older.
Not by a lot, yeah.
And they're like, you should have retired years ago. I'm like, why? He looks 42 years old. Why would he retire? So that I had a problem with. They shouldn't have de-aged Top Gun Maverick. Great movie. Why did they de-age him?
Yeah.
You're right. We all know Top Gun was 1984. We
That's the
know how
whole
old he is.
point.
We know how old he is.
That's so dumb.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
like a mystery. Like, oh, when was that? We don't know. It's 84. That's when it
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah. It's
Anyway,
annoying.
that was my pet peeve for sure, Top Gun. But I think that movie too, he had a young person. His leading lady was
I
young,
don't know
I
who it
think.
was,
I don't
but
know who it is, but I think she was young. And I was just like, okay, why are we doing this?
I don't understand. I truly don't.
That's sexism right there, I think.
Oh
Like,
my
why do we do
God,
it?
yeah.
Why do we do it?
I don't know. And like,
And why
so
can't we get out of it? I don't like it.
that happens like, so with the characters in Bridgerton, right? Like, which makes sense.
Okay.
Which makes sense. I'm saying.
If they're going by that
It makes
time,
sense.
it
Yeah.
kind of makes sense.
No, I'm
yeah.
fine with that. I'm fine with that. That actually doesn't bother me.
On the flip side, they don't really go with the time because they
No,
do
I
so
know.
many things
They
that aren't
do.
part of that time.
I
So
was just talking to Jenna earlier about this because I was like, "Oh, do you watch Bridgerton? Like, what's your favorite season?" And then she was like, "Oh, like I don't know if people count it, but like the Queen Charlotte season." I'm like, "Oh, like loved that one because it's like, epic." But then I always think in that season about when they solved racism with the power of dance.
yes.
So good. Like, why are we pretending? They like did Dirty Dancing, like they did, and they were like, "Guess it's over." Thank God.
in like the 1700s, it's all done.
Because I loved it. Because in Bridgerton, I didn't really need to know how it happened. I was fine with them deciding that racism, like that was cool with me. I didn't need to know. And then for them to decide it was dancing was so funny. Anyway, sorry, that's unrelated. But what I do think is interesting, is that so like last season got a lot of hate.
The one that
For
just happened.
no,
Oh, the one
last
before.
like
Okay.
Penn, yeah.
Mhm.
Because well, there were a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons it got a lot of hate was because everyone was like, "Oh, Colin was like boring, like he wasn't doing enough, whatever." And I thought that was interesting because I thought, like, I went into that season knowing, okay, well, it's about Penn. She's really the plot of the show. So it's going to be about that, obviously.
Right.
We know her way better than we know Colin, right? So
Yeah.
it's going to follow her. And
Yeah.
then Colin's going to be the love interest. Usually it's not like that. Usually we
Follow
follow,
the male and then the
well,
female, yeah.
well, in the first season, we kind of followed both of them.
Yeah.
Right. In the second season, we did follow Anthony because we know him and we didn't know Kate. Right. And then, which made sense. That's fine. But then in the third season, we obviously know Penn better than Colin. So we're going to follow her. And then people were pissed off. And then I was like, I don't know, just annoyed me. Because then this season, we were kind of.
We follow both of them.
Yeah, but it was Benedict's season. Like, right. Because we already know him.
Sure, but we did follow her quite a
We
bit.
did.
We had her backstory and her dad and
It's not that she wasn't in it enough, but I guess you know what I mean? Like there was a clear, it's Benedict's season, like,
True.
Yeah.
I think they did a pretty good job. I don't think that was super biased.
No, I'm saying the audience had a problem with it last season. I thought it was weird.
I think it's just because of what we're used to, maybe.
Literally.
But I have to do a retraction
Oh,
already from something I said 2 minutes ago.
what did you say?
Well, Top Gun Maverick, I said, and his love interest, Tommy's love interest was too young. It was Jennifer Connelly, and they're only like 6 years difference in their ages or something. So I'm like,
I saw
never
something
mind.
recently.
She had a lot of work done, to be clear. So
Oh, I saw something recently. That's gonna bother me. I don't know. I saw something recently. It was some movie. It was a famous movie. I've seen it. And some other famous actress was passed over because she was too old, but she
Right.
was actually younger still than the male who was already cast.
yeah, I think I don't remember what it was, but I do remember reading that, and I'm like,
It
ooh,
was recent. I just saw this, but yeah.
yeah.
Do you think that's getting better? I don't see that getting better, like
No.
at all. I don't see any progress on that.
No, and I think, and you always hear about the women actors complaining about how they're like the love interest, and then they're like the
Then they're
mom,
nothing.
and then the
Yeah.
grandma, but they're like bit
They're not
parts
the
as like
lead.
the grandma. You know what I mean?
I know.
So there's a new TV show. Oh, I don't know what it's called. I don't know how quickly I can look it up. Michelle Pfeiffer's in it. Have you seen this?
TV isn't as much of a problem, to be fair.
Pfeiffer? She has a new TV show. It's called The Madison. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's we get it. It's on Paramount Plus, and it's got Kurt Russell and Michelle Pfeiffer are the love interests.
Okay.
I think their ages are probably pretty darn close. Let's see. I'm just quickly looking at the ages. Yeah, he's 74 and she's 67. They're the love interests. It's about them. 74 and
I've
67.
never heard of this, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's not as much of a problem in TV, I will say.
Well, I think it's about the family, to be clear. So I think there are love interest people that are younger, but it's about the Madisons are the family.
Hard to say. But what I was going to say, it kind of also, you know what that does? That's really unfortunate, is it makes people want to cast men longer in roles they actually kind of are too old for. Like, they'll be casting a guy in a thing where I'm like, he looks old to be doing this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think sometimes it's a bit silly.
Maybe that's why Brad Pitt works out so much. So they don't go, that guy's too old for this. Because honestly, in F1 at least, I don't know if they de-aged him, but he looked kind of still like, he was rugged. I think that he looked older, but he didn't look like he shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? And that's another problem, though, I guess, sexism-wise. As men age, they get rugged, where women age, they're like haggard and like, ooh, we don't.
Well, that's the thought. I don't know if it's the truth.
No, I'm saying it's true. I'm saying that's the casting people is what they're thinking. Like,
I know,
look how rugged and handsome he is, even though he's 65. And it's like, ooh,
totally.
She's 45. Ooh.
There was this what was I going to say? Oh my God, lost my train. It's hard we do this at night. Okay, it's gone. But about that, so actually, yesterday at work, I served this man and his two sons, and he was like a bit, I mean, definitely older than me, like at least in his 40s, and he was like kind of flirting with me the whole time, and he was like with his sons, the man. Oh. The man. But he was kind of going, there was like no one else from the restaurant anymore. Like he was one of the last tables there. And he would be like, boys, like look her in the eyes and now say please. And then how
old were his kids?
Like not that young.
like 15.
Like I want to go like 9 and 12, maybe 9 and 13, okay. Like somewhere around there.
And like,
that's my guess. But they did it. They did it very obediently. But he was like, okay, now look her in the eyes. Now say please. And then he went, now blow her a kiss. And the younger one went, and then I started laughing because, customer service. You're just like,
it's
okay,
also kind of fun. It's kind of funny.
But you know what? At that point, you know what happened yesterday with someone I will not name situation.
Yes.
So I was she didn't answer me yet. So I was like, I was not in the mood to smile and laugh, honestly. So I just kind of automatic customer service went like, ha ha ha. So I was not actually. But anyway, and then the man went, see, you got to keep her smiling. That's what you do. Like,
that's creepy. I don't like it.
And he asked before this, he asked my name. And he asked my name. And then at one point I was cleaning table. I was trying to get the hell out of there, obviously. So I was cleaning a table, but he was like here and I was here. And I was kind of bent over the table, cleaning it. And then he was like, Jay, out of the blue. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what's that short for? And he was like asking me about that. I think at one point he asked how old I was. He was definitely.
Do you ever think to be like, oh my gosh, my girlfriend said this the other day?
Like,
just
I kind of.
Be funny, right?
When that happens to me, I almost always wonder how far they'll actually go so I can catch him in something. But anyway. So I let him do it usually. But anyway, so he did that. And so, but I'm just thinking about it right now. Like, I wonder because we have a lot of like younger men, like my age or younger, some like 18-year-olds who work there. And I was like, imagine if like an older woman was doing that to one of the guys. You know what I mean? I think they would be really creeped out by that. Whereas that's pretty normal. That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I think it may be creeped out maybe because it's not normal, but why is it not normal? But there's lots of like cougar stuff, going on.
Where? I've never encountered one.
I don't know. I've heard of that in my life. I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know.
thing in media. We don't actually talk about it with men. We don't make fun of older men for flirting with younger women. We just make fun of the women.
No, and it's pretty common to see very wealthy men with like really young women. You're just like, oh,
Yep,
it's not,
because
it's
they
not cool.
can.
It's not cool. That's not cool. Well, I don't think we're going to solve sexism. Um,
But what are your thoughts on the sports of it all, though? Like on the
like,
actual scandal
um, well, good on the women for like not
for
going
not
to the White
going? Yeah.
House for sure.
Oh, but you know what? When I was researching this, so I saw a video. One of the things I was looking at was a video of Hillary Knight, who's the captain of the women's team, talking about it and just saying, "I thought the joke was in poor taste. It's just like, what? Come on, like, why are you doing that?" She just, basically that was her whole response. She didn't badmouth anyone. She said she thought it was in poor taste.
Hmm.
And then in the comments, and there were only 36 comments on this video, but like all these people were like, wow, like, wait, I actually almost want to find it because it was really, really shocking. Because like Katie told me about this because she's been into it. And that's what made me want to do this. And so from Katie's perspective, all the media she's seeing, of course, on her algorithm is all like, fuck the men for doing that, fuck
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
fuck Trump, whatever.
of course.
But all the comments, I was very, because she was talking about how it was in poor taste and how like the women should be appreciated and they're amazing, essentially, which basically what she said. We're
Right.
great. We should be appreciated as much. That's what she said. Um, this comment is, I was very happy for about 2 minutes when I heard that USA women won gold. Heard in all caps. I'm still floating on air after watching in all caps all but one game of the men's hockey gold medal victory. Cool. No one asked. And then and then so I guess in this video she said something about like it overshadowed their accomplishment, right? Um Never overshadow their accomplishment. More people learned about the women's hockey team than ever knew about it before and became fans. Calling up a sexist joke is like, this is grammatically incorrect, but essentially they were just like, that's stupid. We were celebrating your win until y'all got catty and decided together to thumb your noses at us as if you are above us. You were given a nice invite. You were being celebrated and you decided to be victims, period. Again, ...
What?
I don't
Okay.
know.
Look, I mean, on the flip side, Donald Trump, who nobody really respects, is 80 years old. Like,
Yeah.
he's not going to be living in the now. Like, he's going to make jokes that are not cool, right? There's a really old joke where when Ronald Reagan was president, he was like 76 or something. And a comedian at the time, Dennis Miller, said, my grandfather's 76 and we don't let him use the remote control of the television. You know what I mean? And there was like joke about it. Well, I mean, I feel the same way about Trump. He's 80 years old. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
What do you expect him to be better? Like he was a misogynist when he was 25 years old. And you think
Yeah.
at 80 he's going to be any different? Come on, guys.
Well, and I guess obviously we want, this is a bigger conversation, but we want to be able to expect that of a president to not be sexist.
Well,
Like, you should be able to expect that.
okay, sure, but any Democratic president or even Republican before would have
I
been
think they'd have the
rarely
sense not to
respectful.
say it out
Of course
loud.
they would. Of course they would, because they're not stupid. And
Yeah.
it would have bit them. Like, this would have been a big scandal if it wasn't Trump. But Trump says so many dumb things.
It's like,
that,
whatever,
yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
He almost, you know what? He kind of did the Renee Rapp thing. I think I've talked about this before when we were talking about pop stars. Remember, I said Renee Rapp kind of did the perfect thing where she kind of did some really interesting things that kind of gave her like, oh, she's like entitled, she's
Edgy.
kind of whatever. And then she
Yeah.
just was like, my brand is that I don't give a fuck. And now she can do whatever she wants. And I feel like Trump almost did that, where his branding is like, I'm the worst. So whatever
Yeah.
he does is like,
And
well,
his branding sort of too. I can do whatever I want and I'll still be fine. So I don't care. And some of his supporters are like, wow, he's so powerful that he can do whatever he wants and it doesn't matter. And I'm like, oh, but this is not what we're shooting for. It's just,
no,
as
that's crazy.
We're not Americans, but as a society.
Well, and he literally can apparently, run a whole sex trafficking thing and be fine.
He famously said that he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue in broad daylight and he'd be fine. Nothing would happen to him.
Yeah.
That was
And
during the
why
first
is he
presidency.
bragging about this? Like, Jesus.
I actually have questions.
Please.
Okay. Do people your age think sexism is still a major problem? Do you talk about it, you and your peers?
I think it's just assumed we all think that. Like, we don't really need to. It's kind of our lived experience. Like, I don't know. Sometimes we talk about it like. Sometimes we talk about just
it's
fucked up
Tuesday.
things that happen, but it's
I
like,
mean, but
duh.
is that just like, is it Tuesday? Like, it's like,
Yeah, like
oh.
we're not having discuss. No one would ever be like, okay, like sit down and hang out. They go, you know what I've been realizing lately? I think sexism's getting pretty bad. Like, we might go, oh, this really awful thing happened, and it was a sex. It happened to be a sexist thing. We go, oh
wait,
yeah.
Didn't Me Too change stuff?
I don't know.
Like,
I was
that
a
happened.
child. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
but
know what.
it had to have changed something.
What was it like
didn't
before though? Like,
Bad.
I don't think. Do you think that changed actually? Like, that actually changed?
I think things.
I think it made people hide things better.
I think it became less overt. I don't know if it actually changed it.
I think, yeah, it became more of a taboo. Just like, you know, how like rape used to be like not, it was like legal, sort of. You know what I mean?
Well,
So parts of like date rape. Do you know what I mean?
It was more like
consent.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or they do like, oh, that we don't want to ruin a young boy's life. Like, you know, they'd say that. Like the judge would.
Crazy.
The
Boys will be
judge would
boys.
say that.
Boys will be boys.
Do you think humor around gender is more restricted now?
How so? Oh, like making stereotypes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's probably a good thing. Because, for example, like a lot of the old jokes about men and women, right, are that women, oh, they can't decide anything and they like, they're timid, right? Whatever. They don't stand up for themselves. A lot of them still don't, which is tough, but we don't want to be like projecting that. And then obviously there are people like me. I don't fit any of those stereotypes, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
Though I will say, one stereotype in gender that's changed dramatically, one really, I mean, a stereotype, one thing that's changed is it used to be when I was young, that the dad worked and the mom stayed home, or the mom worked, but the mom took care of the kids. And now most of the dads I know are really into their kids and they don't. Like, you know how you hear, like, I used to hear the old days, the dad would be like, oh, I was home babysitting my kids. Well, you're not babysitting your kids. They're your kids, right?
They
But
still say that.
do they? Because I feel like most of the dads I know are just like, hey, I hung out with my kids this weekend. It was great.
I see stuff about, well, it's like online. When it gets, you know, it gets blown up because they said it. But I see stuff where it's like, oh, he said he was babysitting his own kids. Which, like, in some places, that's probably still really common.
Maybe, but I mean, I feel like the people I know, the dads I know, especially the younger ones, they're like all over their kids, and they take care of their kids, and they, you know, they do all this stuff like that. Where my dad wasn't doing as much of that stuff, just because it wasn't normal. It wasn't like he wouldn't. It just wasn't normal.
It just wasn't what people did. I'm sure they. I mean, I'm sure more do now. I'm sure. I don't know. Most people I know, their dads were there, like,
involved,
but that's like my good friends who, you know, if they were raised similar to me, that's part of the reason we're friends. Probably, you know, we have similar values, etc. So I don't really know. But
this is my last question. What does true gender equality actually look like? That's a tough.
Doesn't exist, but
if it did, what would it look like?
Only Bridgerton solved it.
Through
dancing. Maybe something different this time. Maybe hula hooping. I don't know. Like, it wouldn't be a question. We would never discuss it.
Everybody would just be equal, and they wouldn't.
Well, everything's made up, right? I think about this all the time because I'm famously bisexual.
Famous,
famously. But no, I am. And I think that really bothered me for a while, that like when I started identifying that way, like it seemed like people expected me to act differently. or something. And I was like pissed off by that because I was like, you know, we made this up, right? Like we made all of this up, all the ideas around this. It's really like anything. There's a slightly more like science involved in it because it's romantic attraction, whatever. But like if I like strawberry ice cream better, but I like chocolate ice cream like a bit sometimes, no one's like, wow, that's weird. Like you should only like one ice cream. And then it's just like with sexuality, it feels like it's like, you know, we made this up, right? And no, and like I'm sure some people feel like, oh, I like them really equally, but I think majority of people probably there's some weird scale, right? So many people probably identify as straight because they just never thought about doing that, right? And then like I personally like have never had super strong feelings for another girl really in real life except Katie. I've only had strong feelings for men and Katie. And who knows why that is? Could be, you know, societal expectations or whatever. I don't know. But that is true. But still, because I'm with a woman, like it's just not an option. You know what I mean?
But people
about gender, sorry, is, you know, similar thing though, is I think about this all the time. We made everything up. We made it up, right? What makes me have feminine traits, really? You know what I mean? Like some of it would be science, some of it's learned though. A lot of it's behavioral. Like
yeah, I think you're right. I think that a bunch of it is definitely you know, just our society, because you look at different societies, like, you know, if you look at different tribes that are, you know, don't see humans, or you look at, or other humans, like they are humans, but don't see other, you know, societies. You know, they have different ideas, or you look at the Middle East and how they're raised, and you know, women are raised different. It's very different. Like, I think that you're right, some of it is, but on the flip side, I think just at our basic core, men and women are a lot different.
I think that could be true. We'll never know for certain. But do you know that that study? It was old people. They like put them in replica places of like places they would have been when they were like a teenager, and then they treated them like young people, and like they started to act younger. You know, if you put women in a scenario, who knows, where they were treated like men and had to act like men or whatever, like had to, I don't know, do something stereotypically male. Do you know what I mean?
So there's a Stephen King book where something happens and all the women in this town just disappear, and the men are like, oh my God, but the women are all in this they get sent to this like foresty place, and they just start their own society. And at the end of the book, the women are like, no, we're good. we don't want to go back. We're happy just the way it is. It's awesome. Thanks. And I'm like, oh, what does this say about our society?
Well, some guy wrote it, so we can't put too much stock in it.
Like an 80-year-old man wrote it. Like,
again.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's nothing. I think people think a lot more of it's inherent about the physiological like state of a woman and a man. And I think it's an excuse, honestly, a lot of the time. Oh, well, we're just so different. Maybe if men weren't raised to think they're gods and women weren't raised to think they're scum of the earth, like, you don't think that has any impact? You know what I mean? Of course, nature versus nurture, but some things, like, I don't know, Katie actually talks about all the time how Keegan has similar traits to you sometimes. Like, we'll do really similar things. And she's like, that's so interesting. 'Cause how much of that is just nurture? You know what I mean? Like, entirely. And it's true. And, like, I don't know.
Or your mom, who's adopted, will do so many things that are just like her mom, who she was raised by, there's no genetic link to them.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do stuff, and I'm like, that's exactly the same. Like, exactly. The phrasing or whatever, or something. And I'm like, whoa. So there's definitely nature versus nurture, but nurture does have a big thing for sure.
I know that there are actual differences in like the way brains process things, etc. But I do think, I think there's less of that than people think, or they like to say, because it's a good excuse, right? It's a good excuse to not try and change anything, because we can't. It's inherent.
Yeah, totally. We're going really long, but do you have any questions for me, my dear?
Oh man, we are going super long. I interrupted you earlier
I don't remember.
No, I know, but I interrupted you earlier about because I wanted to talk about Hillary Knight and the comments on that video. But sorry, finish your take on the sports thing because that was what I actually brought in.
So the sports thing. Yeah, I think that it was totally wrong what Trump said. I think I was just saying, yeah, I remember he's
What
like
about how the
80-year-old
men's team
man.
acted?
I mean, look, boys will be boys, I guess, but partly I think they're just going along with, they're with the president of the United States. He's saying something. They're not going to be like, no, that is wrong. They're just going to be like,
But then they went.
They did. And I think some of them are probably more like, when am I ever going to get the chance to go to the White House? I mean, it's pretty selfish. Look, I personally would not have gone. There's
God,
no
yeah.
way
And
I
it's
would
so
have
weird
gone.
that none of their PR was like, maybe don't go. But
Especially when like 70% of them play on, oh, not 70, but a percentage of them play on Canadian NHL teams.
yeah,
And I
it's
know a few of
weird.
them they got one of them, Austin Matthews, who's now out with an injury, but he plays for Toronto Maple Leafs and he was on the winning US team. He came back and he was booed on his first game back.
That would really make me sad if that happened to me. Wait, I was gonna say,
So
okay, but what about the thing where the brothers were,
yeah, that's crazy to me. And I think that they need to get better commentators who
Yeah.
actually watch female hockey and don't even get them. Just like don't even talk to those people. Just get like actual
Yeah.
retired women players or whoever who's like really into it and they should be
Yeah.
those. And I know when I watched it on CBC that it was very good commentary.
that was in the US that was
Yeah.
happening.
And the Canadian one, it was very good.
It was good. Katie was saying that too. I think that there's nothing wrong with there being a man too. It could be a man talking about it as long
If
as he's
he's
fucking
really
into
into
it.
hockey
I
and he
don't
loves
care.
women and he watches
And he
it's great.
knows what's happening. Like he knows who they are. Like
And he
that's
doesn't
really
want to
the
talk
bare
about
minimum.
He doesn't want to talk about somebody's brother or cousin
I
or
know.
great
Like
uncle.
maybe just do your job. But
Now, it may be interesting if their great uncle was like Wayne Gretzky or Bobby Orr or somebody like crazy famous. I'd be like,
Of
well, that's kind of
course.
interesting.
Of
You know what I mean?
course.
Just as
Yeah.
a side note, that's interesting. But
yeah.
just like it would be interesting if it was a boy and that was
Yeah.
the relation. Yeah.
Of course. Or if I don't know, if one of the men's team, like one of their relations shows a female hockey player that was like incredibly famous, like sure. You know?
100%. Now, there's less incredibly famous female
I
hockey
wonder
players
why.
because the sport's only now coming into its
Yeah.
own. That's
Yeah.
why.
It's really cool though, what's happening with that now. The
and
PWHL.
I think back when I was young too, there was no women's hockey leagues,
Mm-hmm.
and the women used to play ringette. They didn't
Right.
play hockey. So I think that it was kind of stifled at a young age where women that wanted to play hockey, they're like, oh, no, you're a woman.
Play
You play
ringette.
ringette, which is, you can't do anything with. There's
Oh my
no
God.
league,
They
there's
did the
no
cutest
Olympics,
thing.
there's no nothing.
I don't know if it was I don't think it was in the Olympics, but I could be wrong. It was in a women's game anyway. They had this, I think they were here. I don't know, but Katie showed me the clip. I don't exactly know what game it was, but it was, they had this little girls hockey team come onto the ice with the women's hockey team, and they all like got to like stand together. I forget, they did like a couple things. They like skated around, but it was so cute. And then Katie was kind of talking about like, can you imagine being like 7 and you're a little girl who plays hockey and you get to go to like the women's PWHL team? And they were, this was here, I think. So they were literally from, like Centerville or something. We were like, oh my God, what? Like, it was
I mean,
crazy.
Men's teams have done that for years where they have like the little
Of course.
Timbits.
And
hockey
listen,
players
that
come
makes
in.
sense. But then that little boy, no one's going to be like, why do you play hockey? Why aren't you in gymnastics? You know what I mean? And so I don't know. It made me emotional thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, like that's so special, you know, that they got to do that. And
It
see
was
that
so
it's a
normal.
real
When I was
thing.
5, I started playing hockey because I live
Sure.
in Canada. And all my friends at school played hockey, and we all started at the same time, and we were 5. That was
Yeah.
just what you
I didn't
did.
know you played hockey.
I did for years. Yeah.
What?
I played until
I
I
didn't know you
was
played hockey at all.
12 or 13.
I only know about your basketball and your
So what
swimming.
happened was I was playing hockey, and I was swimming competitively, and I made the rep team, like the team that has to travel, like the hockey team that has to travel all over Nova Scotia to tournaments.
So expensive.
And at the time, I was also swimming at a very high level, well, not very, but a highish level. And my parents were like, we can't,
Yeah, you can't
there's
do
meets like we can't do both because it's just impossible. You have to pick one. So I end up picking swimming. And so at the time, my coach, the hockey coach, called me on the phone when I was a little kid. I was like 12, 11, 12. And he just said, hey, just so you know, you did make the rep team, but you as you know, you're going to do something instead. So now you're going to be on like the B team, and the B team didn't really travel. They just played like locally.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. And I was fine with it. But I think you want it to be like, don't feel like you didn't do well. Like
That's
you did
nice.
great, which is nice.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And I don't regret that. I'm happy. I mean, I was never going to go in the AHL or anything. So I was fine, but I wasn't like the best player out there. So I was fine with it. And I mean, friends of mine that kept playing hockey, they might have played like high school hockey, but that's pretty much where they
didn't like go any further. Yeah. Well, I think if you were amazing, maybe you'd be, I don't know, they'd
a
want you
couple
to do
played
other
at university.
things,
One
like-
of my friends played in a university in the US and got a scholarship.
Cool.
But he just thought like it was like a division 3 team, so it wasn't like a he got free school, but that's all he got out of it.
That's great. That's enough to get out of it. But yeah, crazy.
Do you have questions, even though we're at an hour and a half?
I think we should stop, to be honest. That's really long. But
We
there's a lot
just
to
like,
say about sexism.
or we like looking at ourselves, either one. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I loved our video. It was great. I liked our video stuff. It was fun. And you have a great night.
You as well.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Daughter Knows Best.
Go follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Daughter Knows Best Podcast.
And listen to us on Spotify and now streaming on YouTube.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Bye.